There are questions humanity has asked for centuries. Questions so disturbing, so confusing, that even our best scientists, historians, and investigators have been forced to admit something terrifying. They don't know the answer. Some mysteries refuse to be solved. Not because we haven't tried, but because the truth seems to vanish every time we get close. Tonight, we're diving into 5 real mysteries that continue to haunt the world. No theories that fully explain them. No answers that satisfy everyone. And no guarantee that we will ever know the truth. Once you hear them, you won't forget them. In January of 1959, 9 young hikers set out into the frozen wilderness of the Ural Mountains in the Soviet Union. They were not amateurs. These were experienced climbers, students, and veterans of extreme expeditions. They knew the dangers of winter hiking. They knew how to survive blizzards, avalanches, and sub-zero temperatures. Their destination was a remote mountain known by the local Mansi people as Kholat Syakhl, a name that translates chillingly to Mountain of the Dead. From the very beginning, the journey was difficult. Heavy snowstorms slowed their progress, forcing them off course. But they pressed on. On the night of February 1st, the group pitched their tent high on an exposed slope instead of descending into the forest below. A strange decision, but not unheard of for experienced hikers wanting to practice survival techniques. That night, something happened. When rescuers later found the campsite, the tent was still standing, but slashed open from the inside. Long cuts tore through the fabric, as if the hikers were desperate to escape immediately. Inside, their boots, coats, food, and equipment were left behind. Everything needed to survive the freezing night was abandoned. Footprints led away from the tent, barefoot or wearing socks, down toward the forest. No signs of a struggle. No evidence of another group. Just 9 sets of footprints, calmly walking into death. The first bodies were found near the tree line, beside the remains of a small fire. 2 hikers lay barefoot in the snow, their hands burned raw as if they had tried desperately to warm themselves. Broken branches above them suggested someone had climbed a tree, possibly trying to see the campsite, or something else in the distance. 3 more bodies were discovered between the forest and the tent, frozen in positions that suggested they were trying to return. Their faces were twisted in expressions of fear, their skin marked by strange bruises and abrasions. But the final 4 bodies, found months later beneath deep snow, raised questions that still defy explanation. Their injuries were catastrophic. Crushed ribs, shattered skulls, damage comparable to a high-speed car crash. Yet their skin was largely unbroken. No external wounds that explained such force. One woman was missing her tongue, her eyes, and parts of her lips. Others showed signs of internal bleeding. And some of their clothing tested positive for radiation. The official Soviet investigation offered no real answers. The case was closed with a vague conclusion stating the hikers died due to an unknown compelling force. The files were sealed. Witnesses were silenced. Families were left without closure. For decades, theories flooded in. An avalanche, yet no avalanche debris was found. Secret military weapons testing, supported by reports of strange lights in the sky that night. Infrasound causing panic and hallucinations. A violent encounter with locals, despite no evidence of a fight. Something not meant to be seen. Even modern investigations, armed with advanced technology and simulations, fail to explain every detail. Each theory answers some questions, but creates new ones. Why flee without clothes? Why abandon safety? Why injuries so severe without visible trauma? Why radiation? Why silence? The mountain has never spoken. And perhaps the most terrifying possibility of all is this. Whatever happened on Dyatlov Pass was so sudden, so overwhelming, that 9 rational, intelligent people made the same impossible decision at once, to run into the frozen dark. And whatever drove them, was never seen again. On the night of March 8, 2014, Malaysia Airlines flight MH370 took off from Kuala Lumpur, bound for Beijing. On board were 239 people, families, students, business travelers, and crew members who had no idea they were stepping into one of the greatest aviation mysteries in human history. For the first few minutes, everything was normal. The aircraft climbed smoothly into the night sky. The captain acknowledged air traffic control. The co-pilot responded calmly. There were no signs of trouble. No storm ahead. No mechanical distress. Nothing that suggested what was about to happen. Then, at exactly 1:19 a.m., the cockpit transmitted its final words. "Good night. Malaysian 370. Seconds later, the plane vanished from civilian radar. No distress call. No mayday. No explosion. No warning. At first, officials assumed a technical glitch. But as minutes turned into hours, panic set in. Flight MH370 had not landed. It had not turned back. And it had not contacted anyone. Then came the discovery that changed everything. Military radar data revealed that the plane didn't crash when it disappeared. It turned. Deliberately. Smoothly. It flew back across Malaysia, crossed the Strait of Malacca, and continued into the vast emptiness of the Indian Ocean. Someone was flying that plane. One by one, critical systems were shut off. The transponder. The communication links. It was as if the aircraft had been intentionally erased from the world's tracking systems. Whoever did it knew exactly what they were doing. For nearly 6 hours, MH370 flew silently through the night. Satellite handshakes later confirmed the plane remained airborne long after it disappeared from radar, following a lonely arc southward over open ocean, one of the most remote places on Earth. When the fuel finally ran out, the plane would have fallen from the sky. But where? The largest search operation in aviation history began. Ships, planes, and satellites scoured millions of square kilometers of ocean. Governments cooperated. Billions were spent. Families waited in agony, clinging to hope that never came. Months later, fragments of debris began washing ashore, on beaches thousands of miles apart. A wing flapping, broken panels. Pieces confirmed to belong to MH370. But the main wreckage was never found. The black boxes, the only devices that could explain what happened inside that cockpit, remain lost beneath miles of ocean. And with them the truth. Theories exploded across the world. A catastrophic mechanical failure. A fire that disabled the crew. A hijacking. A deliberate act by someone on board. A controlled glide into the ocean. Each theory fits part of the puzzle, and fails another. Why were communication systems shut off in sequence? Why fly for hours into empty ocean? Why leave no message, no warning, no explanation? For the families, the mystery is not academic. It is torture. Many were never allowed to bury their loved ones. No grave. No final answers. Just silence and unanswered questions drifting across the sea. In an age of constant surveillance, where phones can be tracked, cars monitored, and satellites map the Earth in real time, an entire commercial airplane disappeared. Not centuries ago. Not in ancient history. But in the modern world. And perhaps that's what makes Flight MH370 so disturbing. It proves that even now, even with all our technology, people can vanish without a trace. And sometimes the sky gives nothing back. On a quiet December morning in 1948, a man was found dead on Somerton Beach in Adelaide, Australia. He was lying against a seawall, legs crossed, head resting calmly as if asleep. At first glance, nothing seemed wrong. No signs of violence. No blood. No struggle. But almost immediately, investigators realized something was deeply unsettling. The man carried no identification. No wallet. No documents. No letters. His pockets contained only ordinary items, cigarettes, a comb, a bus ticket. But every label had been carefully removed from his clothing. Not torn away hastily, but cut cleanly as if done deliberately. It was as though someone wanted to erase him. The autopsy raised even more questions. The man appeared healthy, well-fed, and physically fit. There were no visible injuries that could explain his death. Doctors suspected poisoning, but no known poison could be detected. His organs were congested. His spleen was enlarged. His stomach contained traces of blood. Yet no cause of death could be determined. Police appealed to the public. Newspapers published photos of his face. Thousands came forward, none recognized him. No missing person report matched. No one claimed the body. Then weeks later the case took a chilling turn. While examining the man's trousers more closely, investigators discovered a hidden pocket stitched inside. Inside that pocket was a tiny rolled piece of paper with just 2 printed words. Tamam shud. The phrase came from Persian poetry. It meant, "It is finished." The message sounded less like an accident, and more like a final statement. Months later, police located the book the paper had been torn from, a rare copy of the Rubaiyat of Omar Khayyam. It had been found abandoned in the back seat of a car near the beach around the time of the man's death. Inside the book was something even stranger. On the back page were several lines of seemingly random letters, an encrypted code. Alongside the letters was a phone number. The code has never been definitively solved. The phone number led police to a woman who lived nearby. When shown a plaster cast of the dead man's face, she reportedly recoiled in shock, then composed herself and claimed she had never seen him before. She denied knowing anything about the book, denied knowing the man, denied everything. But witnesses later said her reaction looked like recognition, not surprise. As investigators dug deeper, more disturbing details emerged. The Somerton Man had unusually well-developed calf muscles, common among dancers or long-distance walkers, but rare for ordinary men. His fingerprints didn't match any known records. His dental structure didn't match his apparent age. Even his shoes were an uncommon type not sold in Australia. Every detail suggested he came from somewhere else. Some believed he was a spy. The year was 1948. The Cold War was beginning. Adelaide was home to sensitive military installations. The coded message, the untraceable identity, the suspected poison, the missing labels, the secrecy. Others believed it was a tragic love story, a man poisoned by heartbreak, leaving behind a final message hidden in poetry. Decades passed. Technology advanced. DNA testing offered new hope. In recent years, scientists may have identified the man's name, but even now, major questions remain unanswered. Why was he killed? Who erased his identity? What did the code mean? And why has so much surrounding the case been hidden, denied, or lost? The Somerton Man died with no name, no past, and no explanation. And perhaps that is the most haunting part of all. In a world obsessed with identity, history, and records, one man slipped through every crack, leaving behind only a beach, a book of poetry, and a message that still echoes across time. It is finished. In August of 1977, a routine night shift at Ohio State University quietly changed the way humanity looked at the universe. A massive radio telescope known as the Big Ear was scanning the sky, listening for signals from deep space. Most of what it heard was noise, static, cosmic interference, meaningless background radiation. But then, something impossible cut through the silence. A radio signal burst through the data. It was powerful, extremely narrow in frequency, and unlike anything naturally produced by stars, planets, or galaxies. The signal lasted exactly 72 seconds. The precise amount of time the telescope could observe a fixed point in space as Earth rotated. It rose sharply, peaked, and then faded away, perfectly matching what scientists had predicted an artificial signal from intelligent life might look like. When astronomer Jerry Emin reviewed the printout days later, he circled the signal in red ink and wrote a single word in the margin. Wow! That word became its name. The signal appeared to come from the direction of the Sagittarius constellation, a region of space rich with stars but no known source capable of producing such a transmission. It never repeated. Despite decades of monitoring the same coordinates, the signal was never heard again. No satellite matched its frequency. No military transmission explained it. No natural phenomenon has fully accounted for its strength and structure. Some scientists believe it was a rare cosmic event we don't yet understand. Others argue it fits too perfectly into the pattern of an intelligent transmission to be dismissed so easily. And then there's the most unsettling possibility of all. That it was a message, not meant to be repeated, not meant to be decoded, Just a single fleeting signal, sent across unimaginable distances, and missed forever. If it truly came from another civilization, it may already be gone. Or it may be waiting, watching, having already learned something from us. The universe spoke once, and then it went silent. Nearly a century earlier, another mystery gripped the world, not from the sky but from the shadows of the streets. In 1888, the district of Whitechapel, London, was a place of poverty, darkness, and desperation. Narrow alleys were cloaked in fog. Gas lamps flickered weakly against the night. And fear became a permanent resident. A killer was on the loose. Women were found murdered in horrifying ways. Their throats cut. Their bodies mutilated with a precision that suggested medical knowledge. The attacks were fast, silent, and brutal. And after each one, the killer vanished without a trace. The newspapers gave him a name that would echo through history: Jack the Ripper. He taunted the police with letters, mocking their failures, daring them to stop him. Some letters included pieces of human flesh. Whether all were genuine remains debated, but the terror they caused was real. Despite massive investigations, suspects questioned, and patrols increased, Jack the Ripper was never caught. Then, just as suddenly as he appeared, he stopped. The murders ended. The killer vanished into history. Over the next century, countless theories emerged. A surgeon, a butcher, a member of the royal family, a foreign spy, even multiple killers operating under one name. Modern forensic science has tested old evidence. DNA has been extracted. Suspects have been named and dismissed again and again. But no conclusion has ever been accepted beyond doubt. Jack the Ripper left no confirmed identity, no confession, no closure, only victims and questions. And that is what binds these mysteries together. One came from the deepest reaches of space, the other from the darkest corners of the human mind. Both appeared suddenly. Both left undeniable evidence. And both vanished without explanation. They remind us of something deeply uncomfortable. We are not in control of everything. We do not know all the answers. And some truths, whether hidden among the stars or buried in history, may never be revealed. The universe may have spoken once, and a killer may have walked away forever. And all we are left with is silence. These mysteries share something terrifying in common. They remind us that knowledge has limits. No matter how advanced we become, no matter how much technology we build, some truths remain out of reach. Maybe they were never meant to be solved, or maybe the answers are buried, lost, or erased forever. And that thought, that the universe still holds secrets beyond our understanding, might be the most frightening mystery of all. Because one day, a mystery could be you.